So you say auto reverse. So now see what happens. It will grow and shrink. But two problems: it is growing too much, it's going a little bit of out of screen, and it is doing it only once. So again, effect options. 150% is a bit too much, let's make it 120%. And it's happening only once, we want it to happen multiple times. So where do we go now? So now here is another best practice. When you go to any dialogue like this, we get confused, we get frustrated. The fastest thing you want to do as early as possible is to press escape and come out of this junk. So have little bit of extra patience. 5 seconds is all you need. Do not read what is written here. First read the titles, because these are grouped logically. So now we need to talk about how often is it happening. So it's timing. And say repeat is none. Now depending on how many times you want it to repeat, you can choose a number. As an example, few numbers have been given, but you can choose any number. The issue is don't choose a number, because you don't know how long you will speak in real time. So either say until next click or until end of slide, and that's it. That's how you make an irritating slide. And of course, one more thing, it's still happening too slowly, so we'll go to timing and we'll make it happen in 1 second instead of 2. Still slow, no problem. What is the fastest you can go? What is the minimum or maximum number you can put here? I don't know, you don't know, never mind. So what should we try? Try a very, very small number. Okay? Doesn't try. Okay. That's it. So it's that easy. And whatever I showed you, except for the shadow, or even the shadow actually, not the blur of the shadow, but everything else was available ever since PowerPoint was created. It's not new. Alright, so let's go further. So bottom line is, there is nothing like a useless feature. Remove that thought from the mind. You may not know about it, so you may think it is useless, but only when you know about it, you will be able to take that call. Is it useful or not? There is also another artificial divide which has been created by people who run training institutes or people who write books. They classify things as basic and advanced. Again, this classification is absolutely useless. But don't take my word for it. Let me show you an example. I have a very simple demo slideshow. I have how many slides? 8 slides. I have I am presenting this to a customer. I want this much budget. If everyone accepts it, I am happy. If they don't, I have another slide for justifying why I need so much cost. Now whether my proposal goes through or not, I will not know while I am editing the presentation. I will know it only when I am delivering it. Now at that time, assume everyone accepts my proposal. Everyone is willing to give me this money. Would you want to show the justification slide? No. Why not? Your justification is right. There is nothing wrong with it anyway, but still you wouldn't like to show it. Why? Because some smart person from the audience will find some objection to one bullet you have, and then everything goes for a toss. Right? There is a chance. So to be on the safer side, I have hidden this slide. Okay, everyone knows how to hide a slide. The problem comes when you are in trouble during the presentation. If everyone accepts, you just go ahead, summary, action plan, everything done. But now someone is objecting to this money and you need to show that justification slide. How would you show that? PowerPoint is not going to show that if you click, because it will skip it, because you yourself have hidden it. Is it a practical problem? Yeah? Probably you have seen this happen to someone, or maybe it has happened to you. I won't ask you to raise hands, but it's common. Right click. Hyperlink, yeah, hyperlink works, but hyperlink has a psychological problem. I'll tell you why. Yes, it is underlined. So if you put a hyperlink, someone is bound to ask, why is it a hyperlink? So don't use hyperlink, although technically correct, practically a problem. Other option is right click, go to slide, but some smart guy can still ask you why is that in brackets. So we don't think so much about how we work on Office, right? So what do? Escape. In front of everyone we go to this view, right click, and on the projector we unhide the slide. And many people, you must have got already frustrated because of that, don't even know how to start from that slide at least. They will start from the first slide and irritate you with all the animation and go to 23rd slide. So whatever little chance you had of getting that budget approved is gone. And if it's a very choosy customer, they will say you are hiding something from me and you demonstrated it in front of me. I don't trust you. So there are many problems. So what is the correct way? You know the need now. There must be a solution. Yes, you can type the number of the slide if you know, but how often do we know numbers? If you have put slide numbers, yes, but still. So the idea is when you are in trouble, everything is written in the help file. Everyone knows how to go to help. But how often do we go to help? Very rarely. Now assume you decide to go to help. This thing will come. Now you don't know what to search for. So it's a hidden slide. And then hundreds of things will come. And then you don't know where to go. Correct? So sometimes help is not helpful. But that's not the reason we don't press help button. We refuse to believe that we need help because we already know Office. So it's a mental block. Anyway, in this case, going to help file in front of everyone is not an option. So if you press F1 during the presentation, you get help. Most people don't know that. And that help is short and sweet. It doesn't show you everything that PowerPoint can do. It only shows you what you can do during a presentation. Not new, it has been there since first version of PowerPoint. In the new version, this list became so long till 2007 because every version something was added. So now they have categorized it, but otherwise this feature is there for a long time. So which one? H. Go to hidden slide if it is the next slide, which you know it is the next one. So all that you do is press H. Nobody knows it was hidden and you are able to get it. You like it? Now just to clarify, because I was on this slide, H worked. If you go to first slide and press H, nothing will happen. The next slide in the sequence has to be hidden. Because why? Potentially there could be multiple hidden slides. When you press H here, how does PowerPoint know whether it's here or here? So only if the next slide is hidden, then it will work. Now assume next 3 slides are hidden, then it will go through those 3 slides. So it's fairly simple to understand. Clear? Alright, so is it basic or advanced? So bottom line, there is nothing like basic or advanced. Now here is another example. This is wrong. Now you'll expect me to show what is right, which will obviously happen on the next slide. So there is a thought transition between 2 slides. Wrong, right. And that is why you should use a slide transition in PowerPoint. Don't use slide transitions by selecting all and choose random. That is the worst way of presenting. If the first slide is advantages of my product and second slide is advantages continued, there is no transition, it's continuation. You should not use a transition. But here I'm showing you what is wrong. End of story. Remove the thought from your mind. I form a new thought in your mind, which is good. Transition. So that's why you need a transition. But the next question is which one? There are 40 of them. So this is the best transition for this purpose. So this is wrong. Don't do it. Break that thought from your mind, disintegrate it and form a new thought. First look at what is available, then decide whether it is useful or not. Even if it is not useful today, maybe 2 years later it becomes useful. Even if it is not, our brain has enough capacity. We use a small portion of that anyway. Got the idea? Right feature, right place, tremendous impact. Wrong feature, it in fact reduces impact. Okay, so much of introduction. Now let's go into real stuff. We have limited time here, so I want to know from people who have assembled here, which product should I focus on more? Which one? Which is most popular in the room? Where do you spend most time? Outlook. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, now when we look at Office, we don't realize that we spend significant amount of time on Office. So can you tell me how much time do we spend on Office? When I say we, I'm not just talking about you as a person. Think of your organization and think about it.
Way too much.
Okay, so some average number maybe.
75%.
Okay, so let's do a simple calculation. Depends on the role, of course. People who are on field may use less, people who are in finance may use more. Like that, there may be different variations, but still. So let's do a calculation. Let's say 3 hours to be on the conservative slide. Let's say working days in a year. How much is it for New Zealand? How many working days? Take lower side.
250.
Okay, so let's take 200. Maybe 50 days you go for offsites, meetings, customer visits. And let's take some number. You can multiply it yourself. Alright, and let's take a 3-year span just to calculate. Now I need to do a simple multiplication. How do we do that? It's not a complicated question. We do this every day. I just need to multiply 4 numbers. No rocket science. Obviously you'll put 3 stars. Correct? Any other method? And that will work, no doubt about it. The problem with Office is everything works even if it is inefficient. So imagine if you had to multiply 8 numbers, you would be putting this star, that star, that star. So one very important thought at this stage you should inculcate in your mind is nobody is going to come and sit behind you and observe how you do Office, because nobody has time. Why nobody has time? Because they are using Office inefficiently. Why can't they learn? Because they don't have time to learn. So it's a vicious cycle. So the only way to come out that vicious cycle and to make it a virtuous cycle is to start learning on your own. And the first step in that direction is to notice what you are doing. So you have to become your own auditor. So assume you were doing this multiplication. The moment you do the 3rd star, you will realize, oh, this is not nice. Whether I know a better way or not doesn't matter, but this is not what I am designed for. A human being is supposed to do better things. I'm not using my brain, I'm using my fingers to copy paste. No, that's not what I do. So when you say this, keep it in your mind. Within a week you will have that additional mind working parallelly. It's very easy. And the moment you notice this, then if you find something which is inefficient, don't do it. Because if you do it, in spite of knowing it is inefficient, you're wasting your life consciously. Nobody wants to do that. Find a better way. So the better way in this particular situation is there is a function called product. We know multiplication means product. We were taught this. Okay? So what is this? These are minutes. Am I right?
No.
These are hours. And if we say how many man days or person days, okay, so it's a let's take it for 1 year and let's find out how many man years does that come to. So if you have 500 people, 187 man years go using Office. Did you know that? We knew that, but we never calculated it.